Kalena na atidirghena bhagavan vishate hridi means within no time or very soon Bhagavan Krishna will manifest in our hearts. Actually, the Lord is always there in the hearts of all living entities, undoubtedly, as Paramatma. But how many people realize it? Not many people realize it. Most people are not aware that the Supreme Lord, in the form of Super Soul, as Paramatma, is staying right within my hearts and accompanying me, giving me remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. People don't recognize that. People are not aware of it. But hearing Krishna Katha will make us aware of the Lord's personal presence within our hearts, and we will become aware. We will become aware that yes, the Lord loves me. He cares for me. Otherwise, why would He stay in my heart? So now let's systematically try to recollect some shlokas and some pastimes also from Srimad Bhagavatam that emphasize on the importance of hearing Harikatha. Now, we are gifted with a great opportunity to practice bhakti, isn't it? By Prabhupada's grace, by Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's grace, by the grace of whole Vaishnava Parampara, Guru Sishya Parampara, we have been given this golden opportunity to practice bhakti yoga. But sometimes, or many times, a struggling sadhaka finds one's own sadhana very unsteady. Have you noticed that? My bhakti is not very steady. Mm, Today I'm enthusiastic to chant, and next day enthusiasm goes down. Or in my first round, I chant very enthusiastically and attentively. By the time I come to the fourth round, the enthu goes down. Or today I'm eager to worship the Lord, but later I become little lazy to worship the Lord. So this kind of unsteady practice of bhakti happens in the life of a sadhaka. How to make this unsteady practice steady? Bhagavatam says, Nashtaprayeshvabhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya bhagavatyuttama bhaktir bhavati naisthiki. Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu. Abhadras means anarthas, like lust, envy, pride, greed, and all these anarthas. So Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu means by hearing Srimad Bhagavatam on a regular basis, all our anarthas are vanquished. Right? Nashtaprayeshu abhadreshu nityam bhagavata sevaya. Nityam means on a regular basis, daily basis. If we regularly hear Harikatha, if we regularly hear Srimad Bhagavatam, our anarthas will be vanquished, and uh, bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Our bhakti will become very steady. Naishtiki. Unsteady practice of bhakti means anishtita bhakti. Steady practice of bhakti means nishtita bhakti. Right? Bhaktir bhavati naishtiki. Let's induce some nishtha in our practice of bhakti. For that we need to do nityam bhagavat seva. Regularly hear Harikatha. प्रविष्टः कर्णरन्ध्रेण स्वानां भावसरोरुहं धुनोति शमलं कृष्णः सलिलस्य यथा शरत्. Pravishtaha karnarandhrena means when the sound vibration of Srimad Bhagavatam enters into our karnarandhra, means into our ear holes, through those ear holes, through the medium of sound vibration, Krishna enters into our ear holes and enters into heart. Right? So, like physically, I don't know how these two are connected, heart and ear, but subtly, spiritually, when sound vibration of Harikatha enters into our ears, that and ultimately enters into the heart, and Krishna sits there. Through the medium of sound vibration, spiritual sound vibration, Krishna makes his entry into the hearts of a sincere devotee and stays there. Swanam bhava sarorham. And dhunoti shamalam Krishna, and he will remove all the anarthas. Right? So this is the greatness of the process of Harikatha. If you notice in the Srimad Bhagavatam, 10th canto, 23rd chapter, I'm just speaking some stories also, not only shlokas. 10th canto, 23rd chapter in Srimad Bhagavatam, we see the story of mm, Brahmana Patnis, some wives of ritualistic Brahmanas. Lord Krishna had sent his dear friends, the Gopa friends, to beg some food from these Brahmanas, but the Brahmanas neglected these boys. They did not say yes, they did not say no, they were completely ignoring these boys. These boys became very disappointed and they came back to Krishna. They said, we were completely neglected, we didn't get any food. Then Krishna said, don't worry, go to their wives. They're more devoted to Krishna, they're more devoted to me. Then all the boys went to these wives of these Brahmanas and asked for some food. Immediately, all these wives of Brahmanas collected all kinds of food stuff, different types of foods, and brought them to Krishna and offered them to Krishna and his friends. Now, these women have never seen Krishna. Why did they develop? How did they develop so much of attraction and love and dedication towards Krishna that they ran towards Krishna although their family members and husbands were stopping them? When these Brahmana Patnis were bringing foods to Krishna in the forest, their family members and relatives and even husbands also were not allowing them. They were stopping. But they developed such deep attraction towards Krishna, just like rivers flow towards the ocean. These women are running towards Krishna to offer whatever they had to him. Why and how such attraction developed? Because these ladies heard about Krishna. From whom? Their husbands were never teaching them. And other members in the community also not sure how much they are aware of Krishna. But there were some vegetable sellers, fruit vendors, and some merchants who would just come to their locality, this Brahmana community, and they would offer, they would sell uh, some goods. And while purchasing these vegetables and fruits from these vendors, sellers, these ladies also heard some pastimes of Krishna, some description about Krishna's beauty, Krishna's qualities, Krishna's activities. And just by hearing like that, they fell in love with Krishna. And as soon as they heard that Krishna has come to a place very close to their homes and he's hungry, then these ladies just brought all these foodstuffs and then ran towards Krishna. What does it mean? Just by sincerely hearing from those people who have some love and affection for Krishna, we will also develop our love and affection for Krishna. That's the power of hearing from bona fide sources. Even in ordinary material circles, also, we see that uh, when we hear very high about some people, some celebrities, or some great personalities, we develop some attraction towards them. That's how attraction begins with hearing. Although you have not seen the person yet, you should hear about the person and then get into loving relationship with that person. So that's what is emphasized repeatedly in the spiritual circles. If you want one more story, Rukmani Devi, she never saw Krishna personally, right, when she was very young. So as a young girl, while she was living in her palace of Vidarbha city, uh, so many sages like Narada Muni used to come to their home. And Narada Muni would speak about Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela to Rukmini. As a young girl, she would hear from this nice devotee, great devotee Narada Muni about Krishna. And by regularly and repeatedly hearing about Krishna's qualities, Rukmini Devi fell in love with Krishna. And at one point, when Shishupal was forcefully trying to get her married to, I'm sorry, her brother Rukmi was forcefully getting her married to Shishupal. Then Rukmini Devi wrote a letter to Krishna and gave the letter to a Brahmana and told him, please go to Krishna and give this letter. She's a Kshatriya girl, right? She has that boldness. She took a initiative on her own. And this Brahmana went and read that letter in front of Krishna in Dwaraka. And the letter said, Shritva gudan bhuvana sundara srinvatam te nirvishtakarna vivaraihi haratongatapam. रूपम दृश्याम दृशिबताम अखिलार्थलाभम त्वय्यच्युताविशति चित्तमपत्रपम मे. She said, Shritva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara Srinvatamti. My dear Krishna, Shritva, I have heard Gunan, your qualities. Shritva Gunan Bhuvana Sundara. She's addressing Krishna as Bhuvana Sundara. Bhuvana means this entire universe. Sundara means beautiful. Oh Krishna, you are the most beautiful in the entire universe. How did she know? How did she know that Krishna is the most beautiful in the entire universe? Did she ever see Krishna? No, never saw Krishna. But she says, Shritva Gunan, I have heard. Just by hearing about Krishna's qualities, she developed an understanding of Krishna's rupa, his form. That is the power of hearing. So many times people say, have you ever seen Krishna? Why are you worshipping him? What's the logic behind worshipping him when you have not seen him yet? You show me Krishna, then I will worship him. I will surrender to him. Many people challenge us like that. But are you qualified to see Krishna? When there is no qualification to see Krishna, or forget Krishna, there are so many celebrities in this world, they will not give an appointment to people who are not qualified. What's the purpose of your visit? Why do you want to see me? The question. And we have to wait for a long time for their appointment. If if some big personality who is in a big post in this world becomes so inaccessible, and you need to qualify yourself to see him or meet him and have a face-to-face conversation with him, what to speak of the master of the entire universe, right? यस्यैकनिस्वसितकालमतावलम्ब्य जीवन्ति लोमविलजा जगदण्डनाथः means when the Lord breathes out, millions and billions of universes come out of his body. To meet that Lord who is the source of millions of universes, who is the source of all spiritual and material universes. Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate. Iti matva bhajante ma buddha bhava samanvitaha. He is the source of everything in the entire material and spiritual realm. To meet him, to see him, what is the qualification? How am I qualified to see him? Actually, Krishna did not keep a very great qualification. He kept very, very simple qualification. You don't need to have wealth. You don't need to have education. Your Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shri, or your Dhana, Abhijana, Rupa, Tapa, Shruta, Oja, Teja, Prabhava, Bala, Paurusha, Buddhi, Yoga, all these 1 dozen great qualifications, which are considered very great on a material plane, are neither qualifications nor disqualifications to meet Krishna or see Krishna. Then what is the qualification? Bhaktya tutosha bhagavan gajayuthapaya. Bhakti, simple love and devotion towards Krishna is the qualification to see him or meet him or interact with him. Right? But how do we develop that bhakti? To be able to see him or meet him? By hearing. By hearing Krishna Katha, we develop devotion for Krishna. You want a proof? Let's go to the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam. 7th chapter. It says about Vyasadev's attempt to write Srimad Bhagavatam. Vyasadev, under the instructions from Narada Muni, he was trying to write Srimad Bhagavatam in such a way that it repeatedly, emphatically describes the glory of Bhakti Yoga, Krishna Bhakti, and Krishna's qualities, Nama Rupa Guna Lila. So, अनर्थोपशमं साक्षात् भक्तियोगमधोक्षजे लोकस्य अजनतो विद्वांश्चक्रे सात्वतसंहिताम् अनर्थ उपशमं साक्षात्. How can anarthas be mitigated or destroyed? When we perform bhakti yoga. Bhakti yoga madhokshaji. Lokasya ajanato. Common people don't understand that by performing bhakti yoga, anarthas will go away. Therefore, so our Vyasadeva has written Srimad Bhagavatam, Chakre Satvata Samhita. Then, what is the glory of this Bhagavatam? Yasyam vai sruyamanayam Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate Pumsaha Shokamoha Bhayapaha. Yasyam vai sruyamanayam, by hearing, hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate, a feeling of bhakti or devotion or love and affection for Krishna, who is Paramapurusha, will be invoked in our hearts. Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate. And not only that, Shoka Moha Bhaya Apaha. When we develop sincere love and affection and devotion for Krishna, our Shoka, lamentation, will go away. Moha, illusion, will go away. Bhaya, fear, will go away. Many times in this material world, common people, conditioned souls, they have shoka, lamentation. Why? They lament for the past. Oh, I should have done like this. I should have done it like this. Why this happened in my life? So they lament so much for the past, right? Moha, illusion. They're very much in illusion about the current, about the present. They think themselves to be bodies, or they overly identify themselves with a lot of designations and roles that they play in this world, and they become very attached to those roles and responsibilities. In the name of responsibility, they become very attached. So there is illusion about the present, there is lamentation about the past, and there is fear about the future. Therefore, shoka, moha, bhaya. Shoka, lamentation about the past. Moha, fear. Moha means illusion about the present, about one's own identity for that matter. Then bhaya, fear about the future. What will happen in future? Will I be able to survive in this world? Will I be able to retain all my wealth and money and prosperity and property and name, fame, reputation? All right, maybe I will lose them. So there's a lot of anxiety about future. But by regularly and sincerely hearing Srimad Bhagavatam, all that lamentation and illusion and fear is destroyed. They are destroyed. And on top of it, this is a byproduct. By the way, destruction of Shoka Moha Bhaya is just a byproduct of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam. But the main product of hearing Srimad Bhagavatam is uh, Krishne Paramapurushe Bhaktirutpadyate. A bhakti, our feeling of devotion will be invoked in our hearts by hearing. Therefore, so many pure devotees like Prithu Maharaj or Prahlad Maharaj or Dhruva Maharaj and many such exalted personalities whose stories are described in Bhagavatam, they are aspiring to hear Harikatha, even though Lord Hari is standing right in front of them and is willing to give all kinds of boons and benedictions. You know what these people ask? I want to hear Harikatha from your devotees. When Lord Vishnu manifested in front of Dhruva Maharaj and said, tell me, what do you want? I'm going to provide whatever you want. You know what Dhruva Maharaj said? He said that Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvayime prasango. Even before that, he said one more thing. यानिर्वृतिस्तनुभृतां तव पादपद्मा ध्यानाद्भवज्जनकथा श्रवणेन वा स्यात् सा ब्रह्मणि स्वमहिमन्यपि नाथमाभूत् किं त्वन्तकाशिलुलितात् पततं विमानात्. He says, Yanirvritistanubhritam tavapadapatmadhyanat. If at all we can attain happiness, it can be attained only in two ways. Number one, tavapadapatmadhyanat, by meditating on your lotus feet, O Lord. Second, bhavajjana katha shravanena vasyat. Bhavajjana means Krishna's own people, devotees. Bhavajjana katha shravana. When they are speaking Krishna katha, I have to do shravan. So by doing shravan, by hearing Krishna katha, will become close to Krishna, will attain real spiritual bliss. Therefore, my dear Lord, I just want to hear Harikatha in the association of your devotees. Then he said, Bhaktim muhu pravahatam tvai me prasango भूयादनन्तमहताम् अमलाशयानां येनाञ्जसोल्बणबुरुव्यसनं भवाब्धिं नेष्ये भवद्गुणकथामृतपानमत्तः भक्तिं मुहुः प्रवहतां त्वयि मे प्रसंगो. O Lord, in the association of your devotees, bhakti means sincere devotion will just flow like a river, seamless river. Bhaktim muhuhu pravahatam tvaime prasango bhuyad anantamahatam amalashayanam. Your devotees are so potent. Amalashayanam, they have pure aspirations. They don't aspire for anything bad. They sincerely aspire for something very deep, right? Which is your love. So, because they have pure aspirations, their aspirations and lifestyle is not at all contaminated. I want the association of such devotees, and in that association, you know what I'm planning to do? Neshye bhavad gunakatha mattaha. I just want to be intoxicated by hearing your nectarian glories. Pana mattaha means I want to drink the nectar of your glories and become intoxicated and faint in ecstasy. And again, get up and then drink Harikatha. Right? So this is the aspiration of Dhruva Maharaj after having the face-to-face darshan of Lord Vishnu. Vishnu is standing in front of him. He says, I want Vishnu Katha amongst the Vaishnavas. I want to associate with Vaishnavas and hear Vishnu Katha amongst them. So that is the greatest aspiration. Krishna Katha is so absolute, so pure, so attractive that Krishna Katha even attracts the attention of Krishna himself. Krishna Katha gives pleasure to Krishna himself. That's the nature of Harikatha, right? Like Prabhupada says, I read my own books because it's pure Krishna Katha, right? It's not self-absorption. It is absorption in Krishna, Krishna's glories, right? You see, uh, we are going to celebrate Jagannath's Ratha Yatra very soon. We have recently celebrated Jagannath's Snana Yatra. How did this form, beautiful form of Jagannathji manifest in the first place? In short, Jagannathji's form manifested when Krishna became attracted to his own katha, isn't it? As all of you know the story, I will not narrate the full story now. I narrated already on Snana Yatra day. I can narrate hundreds of times. Such a beautiful story. But to keep it short, Rohini Mata was once describing Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes to the queens of Krishna in Dwarka because they requested Rohini Mata, Mother Rohini, why Krishna is always remembering Vrajavasis? Uh, Although we are trying to serve him so much, Krishna is constantly remembering the Gopas and the Gopis and the cows and the calves and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata constantly, even in his dreams, while he's sleeping, would suddenly say, "Oh, Radhe, oh Gopi, oh Gopa." So we want to know what are the glories of this Vrajavasis. We want to know Krishna's beautiful childhood pastimes because Rohini Mata was personally present in Vrindavan when Krishna was doing his Balya Leela, Pauganda Leela, Kaishara Leela, etc. So all the queens of queens of Dwarka, queens of Krishna came to Rohini Mata and requested her to narrate Krishna's pastimes. And she was speaking so nicely. But an arrangement was made. She said, if I speak Harikatha, if I speak Krishna's Vrindavan pastime specifically, and if Krishna and Balram hear those pastimes, they'll become ecstatic. And they get into uncontrollable ecstasy, and I won't be able to continue. And on top of it, they may develop a desire to go back to Vrindavan. Is it okay with you? No, no, no. We want them to be in Dwarka only. So she said, therefore, you should have someone guard the door. Krishna and Balram should not come here. So Subhadra Mata volunteered. She went and stood next to the door as a doorkeeper. The arrangement is if Krishna and Balram were coming there, then she should immediately caution Rohini Mata, no, you can stop. They're here. So that was the arrangement made. But while Rohini Mata was describing Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes to the queens of Dwaraka, Subhadra was missing that katha. So she was peeping inside the door and carefully hearing, right, what she's speaking. I'm missing, I'm missing. And she went into ecstasy by hearing Krishna's Vrindavan pastimes. Meanwhile, Krishna and Balram came and Subhadra did not notice only. So Krishna came on one side of his sister, Balram came on another side of Subhadra, and all three of them went into deep ecstasy by hearing Vrindavan pastimes of Krishna. Right? That's how Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra forms manifested. So Krishna Katha is so attractive to even Krishna also, because that is the nature of Harikatha. So to develop attraction towards Krishna, we have to hear Krishna Katha regularly. Don't think that I have already heard this pastime. Damodar Lila, I have been hearing so many times. I have been speaking also. I read, I wrote, I spoke, I heard so many times. Why should I hear Damodar Lila? No. Every Damodar month, Kartik month, we are hearing Damodar Lila. Practically on a daily basis, we are singing the same song, Damodar Ashtakam, so many times because there is bliss. The more we hear about Krishna, the more we develop love for Krishna. Krishna Katha has that potency. Therefore, many devotees are aspiring to get more and more ears to be able to hear Krishna Katha. Now, let me go to Prithu Maharaj's prayer. Prithu Maharaj said, when Lord Vishnu manifested in front of Prithu Maharaj, you know what Prithu Maharaj said? He said that, oh Lord, I don't want liberation. I don't want heavenly enjoyment. It's as good as entering hell also. So I don't want that. Then what do you want? Nakamayenata tadapyaham kvachin nayatra yushmacharanambujasavah mahattamantar hridayan mukhachyuto vidhatsvakarnayutameshamevaraha. He said that na uttama shloka, sorry, sa uttam, I'm sorry, not this one. Nakamayenata tadapyaham kvachin. Na kamaye, O Lord, I never desire for liberation or heavenly enjoyment. Why? Na yatra yushma charanambujasavaha. In such a situation of liberation or even heaven, the nectar of your lotus feet is missing. Na yatra yushma charana ambuja asavaha. Asava is nectar. The nectar of your lotus feet or service to your lotus feet is missing in liberation, in liberated state. I don't want that. Then what do you want? Mahattamantar Hridayan Mukhachito. Whenever Mahattama, great devotees, are describing your glories, Hridayan Mukhachito, in their Hridaya, they carry love for you. Mukhachito, the love will emanate from their mouths when they are speaking Krishna Katha. Then, Vidhatsva Karnayutameshamevaraha. Give me, Karna means ear. Karnayuta means millions of years. Give me millions of years to be able to hear that Harikatha emanating from the mouths of your pure devotees who carry you in your hearts. You want millions of years to hear Krishna Katha? See, Indra was standing right in front of Prithu Maharaj as Prithu is offering this prayer. Indra has 1,000 eyes all over his body. Now I want 1,000 ears all over my body. That's not the point here. When he asked for many years, millions of years, he is basically expressing his eagerness to hear Harikatha. Why so much eagerness? He clarifies in the next shloka. He says, Sa uttama shloka mahan mukhachyuto bhavat padam bhoja sudha karnanilaha smritim punarvismrita tattva vartmanam kuyoginam no vitaratya lamvaraihi. Sa uttama shloka mahan mukhachyuto means when great devotees are speaking Harikatha, when pure nectarian narrations of Krishna's Nama, Rupa, Guna, Leela are emanating from their mouths, those sound vibrations carry the dust particles of Krishna's lotus feet. Right? They hold Krishna's lotus feet in their hearts. The saffron dust particles of Krishna's lotus feet will emanate from their mouths. And when those sound vibrations enter our ear holes, you know what happens? Smritim punar vismrita tattvavartmanam. Please, whether you remember everything that I spoke or not, that I'm going to speak or not, just remember this one line. Smritim punar vismrita tattva vartmanam. You can even write if you want. Vismrita tattva vartmanam means we have forgotten. Smriti means to remember, to be aware of. Vismrita means forgetting, forgetfulness. Vismrita tattva vartmana means we are some people, bunch of conditioned souls who are wandering in this material world, forgetting our own identity, our own constitutional position as servants of Krishna. Smritim punar, by hearing Harikatha, we'll remember what we are meant to be doing. We'll remember our original spiritual identities. We are servants of Krishna. We'll remember that by hearing. But if we don't hear, we'll not be reminded. We'll not remember that we are servants of Krishna. We may know, theoretically, we may know, yes, we are souls. We are Amshas of Krishna. We are servants of Krishna. Jivara Svarbhai Krishna Nityajas. Mama Ivamsho Jiva Loki. We know all these shlokas. But how many moments in a day are we aware of that identity as servants of Krishna? How many times are we identifying ourselves as Indians or Americans or students or teachers or men or women or mm, or engineers or doctors or actors? We are identifying ourselves with so many temporary material designations. We are conscious of that identity. We are consciously aware of that identity. We are absorbed in those identities, many of us. But when we hear Krishna Katha, we'll be reminded, hey, your identity, real identity, original identity, eternal identity, spiritual identity, servant, you are servant of Krishna. But you'll forget. While hearing Krishna Katha, we'll remember that. After some time, we'll forget. Therefore, we have this culture of addressing your servant, so and so das, so and so dasi. Right? There is We are das. We are trying to remind ourselves that we are das, we are das, we are das many times. But even while uttering that, I'm so and so das, we may not be in the mood of being das. Therefore, we have to regularly, constantly hear. Same pastimes can give you more bliss. Same concepts can help us assimilate them better. When we are hearing, we should not be looking forward for new information always. Whatever I spoke till now in the last half an hour, everything is well known to everybody here. There's some many devotees in the Zoom call, and some people are sitting live here also. Everybody is aware of everything that I have discussed and everything that I'm going to discuss now. But we need to remind ourselves regularly to be in that consciousness. Idea is not to always accumulate new information or new insights, new perspectives. Yeah, that is there. If it is there, that's fine. But by remembering whatever we already know, by reminding ourselves of these eternal concepts, we'll go deep into that consciousness. We'll become more consciously aware of our identities and we'll act on that plane. That's very important. Mm. That's extremely important to be constantly aware of these things and remind ourselves. That's what he's also saying. Smritam punar vismrita tattva vartmanam kuyoginam no vitaratyalambraihi. Right? So when we hear Krishna Katha from elevated devotees, we'll revive our own remembrance of our actual identities as servants of Krishna. Then we can act on that plane, act with that consciousness instead of getting overwhelmed by our external, temporary, superficial uh, designations or positions or privileges in this world. Mm. The fourth canto of Bhagavatam further says very beautifully. Fourth canto says, uh, you mold your life in such a way that you will become restless without hearing Krishna Katha. Right? Vina Harer Guna Piyusha Panat. The moment I read this many years back, around 15 years back or 14 years back, when I read this statement, Vina Harer Guna Piyusha Panat, I fell in love with this statement and I'm inspired to mold my life in that way. Right? Of course, I failed many times, but still, this we have to remind. The meaning of this line is Vina Harer Guna Piyusha Panat. Harer Guna means qualities of Krishna, qualities of Hari. Piyusha Panat means drink the nectar of Krishna's qualities. Vina Harer Guna Piyusha Panat means without drinking the nectar of Krishna's qualities, or Krishna Katha in short, we should feel very restless. We should feel lost. Oh, today I have not heard anything about Krishna. My day is waste. Right? This week I could not read Srimad Bhagavatam. This week has been wasted. You may be doing many other things. They may be productive also, but the essence of all of that is Harikatha. Hare katha me eva katha susaram. Udhrutya pushpebhya ivarta bandho shivaya nah kirtaya tirtha kirte. Vidura is speaking to Maitreya Muni. Udhrutya pushpebhya eva artabandho. Oh, artabandhu. Just like a honeybee goes to different flowers and collects the essence of the flowers in the form of honey. Similarly, you speak the most essential topic of Harikatha. Because Hare Kathameva Kathasu Saram. The Saram, the essence of all Kathas, all topics in this world is Harikatha. Hare Kathameva Kathasu Saram. Right? So a honeybee may go to the garden. In the garden, there are so many things. I can see in front of me there is a big garden kind of thing here. There are so many trees and flowers and flowers and plants and grasses, lawn. Uh, there are some colorful trees. I can see some pink flowers there. There are some yellow leaves there. There are some green leaves here. So there is a lot of greenery. But when a honeybee goes into such a garden, the honeybee doesn't get distracted by all the external stuff here. Honeybee straight goes into a flower that has some honey and picks up that honey only, nothing else. Honeybee has no other interest. All interest of honeybee is just that one little drop of nectar in a little flower. Similarly, in this world there are so many topics. Kukathamati ghni, there are so many soul degrading topics. If you go to internet, open some browser, oh my god, so much of nonsense is there, right? So, although there are so many topics in this world, The focus of a devotee is Harikatha. There are so many topics, but Harikatha is the most essential topic. Hare Katham Eva Kathasu Saram. The Sara. Devotees are called Saranga, means the essence seekers. Because the most essential topic of all the topics in this world is Harikatha, devotees focus on Harikatha, mm, the, the essence. Therefore, the devotees are called Saranga. So when we hear Krishna Katha, that will elevate our consciousness, that will induce love for Krishna, that will increase our commitment in the path of bhakti, that will make us more alert, that will protect us from material desires, that will save us from lamentation, fear, and illusion. We are always in illusion. Uh, in what is that illusion? Identifying ourselves with this material designations in this world, and and uh, getting absorbed in those identities. So that is our illusion here. But Krishna Katha will bring us out of that illusion. Hey, you are not so and so person in this material world. You are supposed to be a servant of Krishna. You are glorious in various ways. Please, Mahim Nisve Mahiyate, please re-establish yourself in that glorious position as servant of Krishna, and don't get excited with all these external, material, temporary, superficial designations. Do the needful, right? As long as we are living in this world, we should have some position and designation. We need to do the needful in that position, in that capacity for our self-preservation. But self-realization is the main goal. Self preservation is a matter of necessity, is an immediate purpose in our life. But the ultimate purpose of life is self realization. So we should maintain ourselves in this world, maintain our bodies and souls in this world uh, uh, by working for our livelihood, etc. But our primary focus should be on self realization. Otherwise, this most valuable form of human life could be wasted. And once we miss it, not sure when we will get it back. So let's not underutilize our human form. Let's try to make it more fruitful, meaningful, purposeful, and enlivening by hearing Krishna Katha. And hearing Krishna Katha is not an austerity, it's joyful. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam tadeva shokarnava soshanam runam yaduttama shloka yashonugiyate tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam. That Krishna Katha is very ruchiram, very pleasing. Navam navam, very fresh. The more you hear, the more it appears fresh. One reason is we forgot it, therefore it's appearing new. But another reason is even if you don't forget, it will appear new. Because that's what Krishna Katha is. Tadeva ramyam ruchiram navam navam tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam. Right? Means it's a great celebration for the mind and the heart. Tadeva shashvan manaso mahotsavam tadeva shokarnavasoshannam drunam yaduttama shloka yashonugiyate. Tadeva shoka aranava soshanam means that will completely destroy this ocean of lamentation. Because of experiencing threefold material miseries, the conditioned soul has created an ocean of lamentation, and Krishna Katha will dry it up within a moment. So Krishna Katha gave pleasure to Krishna himself. Rukmini Devi fell in love with Krishna by hearing Krishna Katha. The Brahmana Patnis fell in love with Krishna by hearing Krishna Katha. We'll also fall in love with Krishna by regularly hearing Krishna Katha. If Krishna Prema is the goal of life, of course it is the goal of life, then hearing about Krishna becomes a matter of necessity. Without Krishna Katha, how can we get Krishna Prema? Without Krishna Nam, how can we get Krishna Prema? So the basic aspects of bhakti, processes of bhakti are Sravanam Kirtanam, right? Hearing about the Lord and speaking or singing the glories of the Lord. So these two are the main pillars of our bhakti. So we can do many services, we can do all that, but we should never compromise on these two fundamental aspects of bhakti, Sravanam and Kirtanam. With this, I'll conclude. Thank you very much. Granthara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Any questions or comments?
Hare Krishna. Anyone have any questions, comments?
Prabhuji, Dhanavad Pranam. A small question is this. Krishna said in the Bhagavad Gita that we have to do yajna dana tap, that is a must do things. And daily we are doing this breathing, eating, every activities are going on. We are doing that karma also. So these are all accumulated as sanchit karma. Then how we are going to make it zero or liquid so that we can go for moksha?
By the way, moksha is not our aim. And eradication of this sanchita karma or prarabdha karma, aprarabdha karma, all these karmas will be eradicated by performing bhakti. कर्माणि निर्दहति किन्तु च भक्तिभाजां गोविन्दमादिपुरुषं तमहं भजामि. Karmani nirdahati kintu ja bhakti bhaja. If you perform bhakti, karma will be burnt, right? So just focus on bhakti. And the foremost process of bhakti is Shravanam Kirtanam, right? So focus on your bhakti, don't worry about your karma. Taking away karma is Krishna's job. Focusing on bhakti is our job. And we don't want moksha, by the way. Yeah, sometimes there is a
In some pravachan, it was told that daily, whatever karmas you do this Om Tat Sat Sri Krishna Paramastu, you do it, then that will eliminate the good karmas, accumulation of sanchit karma. Is it true, Prabhuji?
Yeah, even Krishna said in the 17th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Om Tat Sat.
Om Tat Sat.
Yeah, after doing some yajna, dana, artapa, so when you say Om Tat Sat, it's like dedicating our activities to the Lord. Correct. But yeah,
no, at the end of the day, if we say that Sarvam Krishna Paramastu, then that may give some benefit.
Yeah, that's correct. Definitely. Sarvam Krishna Arpanamastu, correct. So when we do many things, at the end we say everything, let me offer to Krishna. That's great.
Yeah.
But before doing it, only offer to Krishna, na?
Yeah, that can be.
Yeah, that has to be done. That is bhakti.
Yes.
You do karma according to your preference, and at the end you offer the karma phala to Krishna. That is one style.
Oh.
But you choose that karma which is pleasing to Krishna. That means you are offering the karma before even performance. Like when this devotee comes to your home, you have made halwa at your home for yourself, and you offer that halwa to that devotee. That is like karma yoga in one sense. You are offering what you have to him. But when he comes to your home and ask him, what do you want? What can I offer you? Then he says, offer me gulab jamun. Then you make gulab jamun and offer him. Means even before making only, you had an intention to offer it to the Lord, offer it to the guest. Right? Similarly, devotee is a person who even chooses an activity that is pleasing to Krishna. Oh, this activity, if it's not pleasing to Krishna, it's not according to Krishna's instructions, Krishna's teachings, let me not even take up this activity only. Therefore, we take a vow, no meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling, etc. Right? So, we even consciously choose that activity which is in line with Krishna's teachings. Then it is bhakti. Not that let me do whatever activity I like, I'm excited, I will do this activity. At the end, I will get some results and I'll offer those results to the Lord. That to a portion only, 10%, 5% for the Lord, remaining for me. Right? So that's on the karma platform only yet. Because there's an attachment to the karma. So it's not that at the end we do Sarvam Sri Krishna Arpanamastu. In the beginning only we have to do. That is bhakti. That's the difference between general karma kanda stuff or karma yoga and bhakti yoga. Right?
And one more thing is in Krishna consciousness, I think moksha is last priority. Only Krishna prema is the first priority.
Moksha is included in prema.
Yeah.
Moksha means what? Getting relieved from the cycle of birth and death. Prema
because one Prabhu told that by getting prema, we will be getting rebirth to worship Krishna only.
Yeah.
That
If
is,
Krishna desires that a devotee takes birth once again to continue some service, a devotee may take rebirth. But
yes,
if Krishna wants that the devotee goes to the spiritual world and stays there only, then that
yeah,
also can happen, right? Basically, in bhakti, we leave the decision to Krishna. We'll focus on service. Mama janmani janmani ishware bhavatat bhakti rahitu ki tvayi. Janmani janmani ishware means life after life, let me serve you. That means there is no specific desire for liberation from the cycle of birth and death. Life after life, let me serve you. That is the aspiration of a devotee, right? So, यावत्ते मायया स्पृष्टा भ्रमाम इह कर्मभि तावद्भवत् प्रसङ्गानां सङ्गस्यान्नो भवे भवे यत्रेड्यन्ते कथामृष्टाः तृष्णायाः प्रशमो यथा. So the meaning of this shloka, which is spoken by Prachetas in the fourth canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, is that, O Lord, if we are bound to take birth once again because of some karmic activities we have, we don't mind taking one more birth, no problem. But wherever we are, whichever birth we are, whichever species we are in, let us have association of devotees and let us hear Krishna Katha in that association. This is the aspiration of a devotee, right? Thank you very much. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji. Thank you all for joining this morning. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.